I'm doing a 6-part series of videos entitled A Guide to Switching to Linux, Linux Mint Edition. And in this video, I'm going over installing software on Linux Mint. So now, the way that software is installed on Linux is completely different from Windows. If you're a Windows user, you're probably used to downloading the exe file and running the setup. Well, it doesn't work that way on Linux. On Linux, you're going to have what's called package managers, which basically provide trusted centralized repos, kind of like app stores that you can install software from with just a couple clicks. And if a piece of software is available for Linux, but is not in the package manager, what you're going to do is then go to the author's website, but you're going to grab a .deb file in the case of Linux Mint or any Ubuntu or Debian-based distro. And if the Linux installer is some other type of file, then the developer will probably have instructions on how to use those files. If not, you can always look up how to install that particular piece of software on Linux. But those scenarios are very rare. In fact, I've only seen them occur with a few very specific proprietary applications, so I'm not going to get into that in this video. But anyways, without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so now before we get into actually installing software, first of all, I'm going to go over getting updates installed. So the way you do that is just open up Update Manager from your application menu. And the first time you open this up, it'll show this screen. You're just going to click OK. And by the way, if you get a message about switching to a local mirror, don't worry too much about it. But anyway, it's saying that there's a new version of Update Manager available. So let's go get that update. And we need to punch in our password, and then it'll go apply our updates. So now that didn't take very long, and it just restarted our update manager. So let's click no at this prompt. And as you can see, we got a ton of updates here. By the way you check for updates is just click refresh. And now I've got 57 updates to install. Let's get everything updated now by clicking install updates. And it's warning us that it'll trigger additional changes. Let's just click OK and type in our password to authenticate. And then it'll go download and install our updates. So now this will take a while, so I'll speed this up. And then after that, it's going to go check to make sure that there are no other updates. And in our case, there are no other updates. And it also says that we need to reboot the system. So let's do that real quick. Alright, so now that our system's rebooted, let's get to actually installing software. So now, as I mentioned in the introduction of this video, on Linux, you're going to have what's called package managers. And in the case of Linux Mint, specifically, you're going to have an application called Software Manager. And this is where you're going to be getting most of your applications from. So let's say, for example, that we want to go install VLC Media Player, which is right here. We just click on that, and then it'll bring us to the applications page, and then you just click install, punch in your password when prompted, and then it'll go quickly install your application. Like, it's already more than halfway done in the time that you've been listening to my voice. And then after it's installed, we can click launch to launch into it, and we can also find it in our application menu, VLC Media Player. And if we want to remove VLC Media Player, all we have to do is click remove, and if we search for VLC Media Player, it's gone. And if you want to search for applications, say you want to find GIMP, you just type up here, and then it'll go search the software repos, and then it'll find you the application. Same principle goes, you click on it, and then click install. Now, just one pro tip, if an application exists as both a Flatpak and a traditional Linux package, which in the case of Linux Mint and Ubuntu-based distros and Debian-based distros, this would be called a deb package. I would go get the deb package, just because deb packages are faster, and they also are a lot better at respecting the applied theme than Flatpaks, which is great if you like to customize your Linux desktop, which that may be later in your Linux life. Now, in the case of the Linux Mint Software Manager, if it doesn't say Flatpak anywhere under details, then it's a deb package. Now, I'll show you the Flatpak version of GIMP. It'll say details and have in brackets Flatpak, so that's how you know it's a Flatpak. Now, let's say you want to get a piece of software that's not in the package manager, like Google Chrome, which, by the way, before going and installing that, I'd actually give Mozilla Firefox a try, since it's actually a really great browser, and it's a lot more privacy respecting, just a suggestion. But anyway, we're gonna go download Chrome, and then you're looking for a .deb package or a package made for Linux. Now, don't get a .exe file, that won't work at all unless you've installed Wine, but even then, that's very hit and miss. You have to remember that, as I said in the beginning of this video, the way that applications are installed on Linux is completely different from Windows. But anyway, you're gonna select the .deb package and then click accept and install, and then you're gonna go download that package, and then the package will show up in your downloads folder. So you're gonna double click on that, and then it'll take a second to load up, but then it'll show you the information information about that package, and also tell you about any additional packages that are required by the application, which we call dependencies. Now those will be installed automatically, so you don't have to worry about that. But anyway, if you click details, you can see any dependencies that will be installed just in case you're curious. But anyway, what we do is we just go over here and click install package, then punch in our password, similar deal with the software manager application, and then it'll tell us about any additional software that's required by this application. We just click continue, and then it'll go install our application. Alright, now once that package is installed, we can close out of here and close out of our file browser. And now if we search for Chrome, there it is. And if you wanted to uninstall that application, you just go to your menu and then search for the application and then right click on it and then click uninstall. Then punch in your password and then it'll ask you to confirm removing the package. You just click OK and then it'll go uninstall the package. And now if you search for the program again, it's gone now. And you can actually do the same thing with any pre-installed application that you don't want. Let's use Disk Usage Analyzer as an example. You can just click uninstall and then punch in your password and then it'll go uninstall. And that's how to install software on Linux Mint. So thanks for watching. If you liked this video, found it was helpful, hit the like button, share this video with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment.